Weekend is almost here, and that means racing in Hong Kong. We're at Sha Tin on Sunday for a 10-race program with a racing coming up on the turf track. Welcome to Racing to Win. We've got it previewed here, and a very special guest who's not too far away from returning to race riding joins us shortly. The boys are here too, Paul Alley and Nick Child. And Nick, what are we looking forward to?
Well, it's a pretty competitive looking card, this one actually, Mark. 10 races on the programme, and for all trying to find those winners might not be the easiest job. There are some nice horses going around as well, so certainly looking forward to them.
We will find out who they are as the show progresses. Paul, we lobbed up the jackpot question for you on Tuesday and chopped out. What about today?
No jackpots at all. None to speak of. But as Nick said, some really good even racing. Lots of first starters as well. And some of these have shown a lot of talent at their trials as well.
Before we crack into Sha Tin, very pleased to say a special guest joining us on Racing to Win, a name that's been missing from the form guides for a little while, but Vincent Ho, you're not too far away from returning.
No, not far. Be back racing soon. Rode my first gallop yesterday morning and felt good.
Talk us through the injury. It happened late in January. What exactly did you do to yourself?
I had 4 vertebrae on the neck was fractured, and my left finger, there's one finger that is broken that need surgery, and a little bit of concussion, of course, but nothing serious. We're very lucky that neck, it was a stable fracture, so it's all good.
Won't ask you which finger it was, just in case you hold up the wrong one on the show, because we don't like that sort of thing on television.
I don't show it to everyone, so that's...
The rehabilitation, what have you had to go through to get back to the stage you're at now?
A lot of physio sessions, under a lot of pain, and of course intensive training as well. The strength training to protect the ligaments and tendon that were damaged. So I need to build those up to make sure they are protected in the future. Fracture-wise, it's fine. It just need time, but we had a good surgeon and good doctors around me, and things were, speed up a bit. So all good.
And you had to go to Switzerland also for some further specialist care. What was the reasoning behind that, and how did it come about that you had to go to Switzerland?
I have connection to actually take me there, and they are Olympic rehab center, and a lot of athletes also go there for rehab, and it's more, I think at the moment it's still advanced than Hong Kong sports-wise, because of course, as you know, Europe been in sports for a long time, and we are only starting and catching up. So even for rehab, they are pretty advanced at the moment. So a lot of things that helps me over there to come back sooner than just running around doing different physios in Hong Kong. Of course, they all help me as well, but it gave me a peace of mind over there in 1 or 2 places that I can do everything, and of course professionally.
It's not only you coming back to work, your best mate, we understand, is going to trial next week, Golden 60. How's his progress been?
Yeah, it's very good. He seems very well. Saw him yesterday and watched all his scallops and had those comments from Alex, the work rider. Alex did a great job, and he is happy with how he's going. So no, the team is managing him well, and look forward to the trials, and also getting on him again. It's been, quite a while since we're both injured. But yeah, looking forward to it.
I guess that if there is a plus to come out of your injury and his injury, you haven't missed a ride on him. So it's been the case that you've been with him right throughout his career. Are you going to reunite, all things being equal, Champions Day? And has anything been made that this could be his last race come the end of April, or still no decisions at this stage?
Yeah, I mean, originally plan was it could be his last season, but we were never certain. He's a horse that loves racing and enjoy racing. It's not like some other horses that doesn't really enjoy racing much, but he actually do. So it's, I mean, to take away what he loves is not. It's also not our ideal decision. As long as he's healthy, I mean, why not? He could go 1 or 2 more races for sure. We're not racing him, 10 in a season. It's only a couple in a season, maximum 3. So, I mean, if he's healthy and he loves racing, I think it's also a good decision to keep him going. But, of course, the priority is he's healthy and happy.
We see him back Tuesday. When is the name Vincent Ho going to reappear in the form guide? Your first meeting back has what target?
It could be on the 10th or the 14th. Ideally, the 14th, if I am able to pick up some chance on the 10th, then I'll also do that. If not, then I'll rather wait 1 more day. It's been, I'm out for over 2 months already. It's no rush for 1 meeting earlier. But ideally, it's the 14th. But I would see if I can get on some good rides on the 10th, then I try to be back on the 10th. Yeah.
Well, he's hoping the season is going to finish on a real high for you, Vincent. We appreciate your time here on Racing to Win and can't wait to see you back.
Thanks, guys. Thank you.
It will be good to have Vincent and, of course, Golden 60 back at the races both very, very soon. Sooner than that, though, is Sha Tin on Sunday, and this is the meeting details. We do have an earlier start again this week because there is a simulcast race we're taking in Hong Kong from Japan, the Osaka High. Racing gets underway at 12:45. The 2 races we preview, the third, a Class 2 over the 1600, and the Class 4, race number 8, a good betting race over the 1200 metres as well. The third race, just a small field here for the Class 2. I've got the Golden Scenery going up from the 1400 to the 1600. All for St Paul's is a 5-time course and distance winner. Mugen has the hood going on. Flaming Rabbit has the cross nose band off and the tongue tie added to him. Rising from Ashes was Aurora again last time, and Superb Boy, he's having his second go over 1600 metres. He has placed his last 3 outings though. Speed maps easy here, Nick, with All for St Paul showing speed. Flaming Rabbit not quite as fast as he used to be.
No, perhaps not. And, he's obviously interesting once again over this sort of distance, isn't he? But yeah, look, All for St Paul should lead. Flaming Rabbit won't be too far away. Superb Boy has always sat quite prominently. He's also having only his second run over the trip as well. But look, a small field. They should all find a spot here, Paul. Looks if Mugen should get sort of a little bit better than worse than midfield maybe.
Yeah, very. I thought it was quite straightforward. This one, Running Glory, rises from Ashes, both get back, so Golden Scenery can just settle just in front of those 2.
Paul thinks it's a case of All for St Paul's leading Flaming Rabbit. Nick spoke to Lyle Hewitson. Let's see if that might mix up a bit, if indeed he does want to lead. Here's Lyle now.
Lyle, Flaming Rabbit is your ride in race 3. It's the Class 2 coming up on Sunday. He's a horse that you know quite well. In fact, you're the only man to have won on him.
Yeah, he's a lovely horse. Of course, he's probably just been below his best form of recent times, but they always bounce back, and his class is permanent. So hopefully he can show his ability again, because he is a smart horse.
Talking of class, went back and had a look at his best run over this distance. Obviously, he's trying the mile here. He was second to the sadly ill-fated Tuchel, so he does have that very good run over this trip.
Yeah, and I was really looking forward to what he could do this season. And of course, he just took a slight step back, and there were circumstances as well that played a role in that. And hopefully now, with a couple of runs under the belt, he's getting stronger and getting better, and bouncing back to that form we know of him.
Douglas has put a tongue tie on now. He is a go-forward type horse. Does that just allow you a bit of confidence maybe to ride him that bit more assertively still?
Yeah, I would think, well, obviously Douglas has done it for a reason, and if that can just help him with a bit of fluency in his breathing, that's always going to benefit a horse, any horse, but in particular if you're going to be assertive on one. So, yeah, looking forward to hopefully that brings out a little bit of improvement, and yeah, he's a nice horse, and he'll be a live wire, I believe.
I know you didn't ride him last time, Lyle, but he was behind Young Champion. Obviously, that form's looking pretty good. He looks like a really nice horse. So, coming into it, at least, in what looks a sort of a trappy little race, he certainly has the claims on recent efforts.
Yeah, it's a small field, but what they say, smaller the field, bigger the upset. So, yeah, a couple of nice ones in there. He's had a bit of pressure in his past few starts, or had to sit with cover. Although I think it's okay. Just he's shown a little bit more when he's been in front. So. Yeah, look, from the outside gate, he'll be going forward, and we'll take it from there. But hopefully he can keep going, and I think the mile is probably going to suit him more because they almost seem to be sprinting up to him over the 14. So the extra furlong could be to his liking.
That is Lyle talking about Flaming Rabbit. This is Nick talking about Mugen right now, and we're going to his last start second. Nick behind Red Line. Had a great battle, this pair, and they were streets ahead of the rest.
They were, yeah. Look, again, small field, as you can see, so always sort of a tactical sort of run race. This was actually a Class 1, so technically he's coming back in grade. So, look, he's a very nice horse. Hugh Bowman is going to be on board for the first time. Draws a nice gate, and does have a hood going on as well for the first time. So, very interesting runner. He's actually had a couple of trials up at Chung Fa, Paul, and he's looked good in both of those. But as Mark alluded to here, they've absolutely streeted the rest, and he has been beaten by a good one.
He has, and as you say, that was Class 1, now he's into Class 2. He looks the obvious one, doesn't he?
He does. He's been to Chung Fa too, Paul, and he's trialled up there. He's actually had a couple of trials. He's won both of them, and this one he sat last, never left the rail. He's been good in both of those two preparation trials up at Chung Fa.
Yeah, look, really easy trials for them, and you can see him on the inside. He's just not even moving on him. The horse seems to have been thriving up in Chung Fa, and a nice trial win from him.
It was, yeah. And look, depending on how much you read into trials, obviously you'd be pleased with what you saw there, because he's certainly in good fettle with himself.
Right down the bottom, Nick, is Superb Boy. Now, there's very little wrong with his form. He's placed behind Atala Begil, Mugen and Blue Marlin at his last three, and does carry 11 pounds less than the likely favourite.
Yeah, John, I think that's probably the salient point as well, actually, Mark. And look, I'm keen on him to perhaps upset the favourite Mugen. He deserves to win one, if nothing else. He's a horse who usually puts himself right there in the race. We saw the speed map earlier on. Obviously, he's going to be prominent. And in his last three races, go back and have a look at them, he's basically in front at the furlong, and he's been run down. The mile is interesting, but I just wonder, might they wait with him, Paul, and perhaps save him up for one last kick? And receiving all that weight is going to be a big help.
Yeah, no, he comes in really well at the weight. So look, I agree. I think he's the Quinella horse. He's going nicely, and he should get that nice suck run just in behind.
So it sounds like you're 4 to beat 8, and you're 8 to beat 4. Let's find out right now.
Yep, well, there's only 7 in it, so it's 4 to beat 7 actually with this one. Superb Boy in for second, but Mugen to beat Superb Boy, the Golden Scenery, and then all for St Paul's from the front. 4, 7, 1 and 2.
Yeah, gone the 7 here. We'll take him to perhaps beat what could well be a short price favourite in Mugen. I'm sure he'll be very well supported. But Superb Boy deserves to win one. Decent enough draw. Lexi's on again, so we'll go with him over Mugen. Flaming Rabbit, I could glean plenty of positives there from speaking to Lyle. I think he's going to run a big race in this. And the Golden Scenery, I thought was perhaps best of the rest. He's £4 higher than his last win, and he's a pretty honest type of horse. 7, 4, 5, 1.
The maths teacher did say concentration was always poor. 7 and 4, 4 and 7, the top two for the boys in race number 3. Off to a break here on Racing to Win. Back with plenty more right after this. It is under a month away until FWD Champions Day coming up at Sha Tin. It's time now on Racing to Win, though, to head to the last run. Reminder, Paul, And you're raising your glasses this week.
Yes, Prosecco. Now, this horse has had plenty of opportunities yet to win, but look, this is the closest he got, and it's coming down to the straight 1,000, a sort of a distance we haven't really seen him over. You can see him really being held up all the way down the straight, and an absolute handful of horse. The gap came about now, and once he got through that gap, he really accelerated quickly and almost won the race. Just beaten right on the post, so a really good run from him.
Race 4, number 14, Prosecco out of the Chris So stable. Race number 8 preview time now. It's a Class 4 over the 1,200 metres, and You're My Everything has placed his last 3. Super Legends, a trial winner. First starters, Lucy in the Sky, Storming Dragon and Super Unicorn. Sea Sapphire carries an extra £6 for his last start win. Crazy Treasure racing well. Better draw this week, and Strath Pepper has placed 4 from 8. Course and distance. Sea Sapphire the leader here, Nick.
Indeed, yeah. Look, I mean, he led last start, and I mean, he should be able to get across and lead this field here. King Miles only having his second run. He drew wide on debut, but he does get a better run here from a nicer draw. He's drawn in gate number 1, so he won't be too far away. Lucy in the Sky, interesting newcomer. Awesome Treasure is another horse who I think should be close to the pace, but might be trapped wide.
Yeah, could well be. Lucy in the Sky is a gelding, so just note that as well. But he'll be going forward and won't be too far away. Storming Dragon showing a bit of pace in his trials. Another one that'll be closer.
Straight to our first replay now, Nick, and it's King Miles, one of the horses in focus here. Phoenix Light makes up plenty of ground, and it's a race where Star Club has been in good form, and the horse that he beat, Lifeline Express, of course, was a winner recently at Sha Tin too. Yeah,
look, absolutely. And, you know, this horse, King Miles, I think is quite interesting. You can see there he's had to race on the wing, and he's covered plenty of extra ground, gets a better barrier this time in. And Hugh Bowman going on board for the very much in-form Francis Loy stable as well. Doesn't ride all that often for them, but has had 3 winners from 7 rides this campaign. So, look, he's clearly a progressive horse, you'd think, on this evidence. He can only come on for it. And Phoenix Light, of course, there, Paul, he also ran a very nice race from the back of the field. So I think you'd have to give them both claims.
Yeah, no, definitely. He was waddled away, so he just sort of came to the end of his run there, and he finished 4th from barrier number 1. As long as that run didn't take too much out of him, because it was quite a tough run. Just in behind, then look, he's definitely one of the main chances.
That is our first replay. Second one, Paul, features winning form around Sea Sapphire. He'd shown in the trials that he had pace and some ability. Was able to get the job done in this race. Both You're My Everything and Crazy Treasure are closers in this. Yeah,
look, I don't mind You're My Everything. I mean, he's staying over the 1,200 metres, but he's been finishing off really strongly off good pace, and I think he's another one that has to go in. Not on a win line, but on a minor line. And also you can see Crazy Treasure had a nice run up against the rail.
Yeah, Tom's campaign to get him up over further hasn't quite worked just yet. They stay at 12, don't they, with You're My Everything. But just going back to Sea Sapphire, like, there was no fluke about that. That was a really good win off the front. So I'd consider him dangerous again this time.
All right, there's a good report for the last winner now. No, this is not a replay of the Grand National, Nick. This is a side-on and a head-on, with the focus horse Sunny to Best in the blue being held up for a good part of the straight.
Yeah, and look, and it's worth showing, isn't it, really, because you can see on the top of the screen how long he's held up for a bit of a run. Doesn't quite tell the full story on obviously the race angle that we would have seen on race day. But look, he's a horse who clearly has plenty of ability, and once he's got out here under Zach Purton, he's run on quite strongly behind Call Me Glorious. He's a very nice horse, so I like him here, Paul.
Yeah, he drew 1. He's drawn 13 now, so look, he'll get back from that wide draw. He's going to have to go all the way to the back, so he might get a similar run.
The other horse in that replay, Paul, Awesome Treasures out of the David Hay stable, and David's horses in good form the last 10 meetings.
Yeah, well, unfortunately for him, he's drew wide, and that race was waddled away, and he's drawn wide once again, so it looks a little bit tricky for him. But the stable in general, as you say, is going fantastic.
We move on now, Nick, to Chungva and the trial around Super Legends. He's had the 5 starts, 1 win and 3 placings, coming off a 3rd behind the in-form Champion Instinct. Led up in this trial and was slick.
Yeah, it was a good trial. 63 days off games for him, and he has obviously won first up fresh, hasn't he? So, you know, he could be one to certainly keep a keen eye on. I didn't mind this trial at all, actually. He's bounded along quite merrily on the front end, and he wasn't extended. So, you know, I'd consider him a definite chance in this race, Paul.
Yeah, definitely. This race is really open, and he's definitely another one of the chances in it. He's got to carry the big weight, but, you know, he's drawn nicely in barrier number 4.
Trial around the first starters now, Paul, and we do start with Lucy in the Sky. He had the 2 trials, and he ran 2nd behind New and Long Elite. He wins this trial, and that horse in the red colours is the very smart, gorgeous Win.
Yeah, so a nice trial from Lucy in the Sky. Finished off the trial nicely. Only had the 2, so we'll get Jenny's take from him in the yard, but just the 2 trials today.
Yeah, look, and I suppose it's a lot of it's dependent on the type of horses they are. I mean, he's won that trial well enough, so obviously Mi Choi clearly thinking that he doesn't need another, and 2's plenty.
What have you made of Storming Dragon's pre-race day debut efforts? Nick, he has had the 5 trials for Jamie Richards.
Yeah, I liked his most recent trial here. I thought he hit the line quite well. He's, as you say, had those trials. He's won a turf trial. He was second in his latest one. Tongue tie for the debut. Interesting always, but top team represented. Jamie Richards, Zach Purton, so and a good draw should help as well.
Yeah, barrier 3 for him. So he looks really good actually. I've liked his trials.
There's a race, Paul, upcoming, race number 8, that seems to have chances everywhere.
Yeah, looks plenty of opportunities here for the horses, and I'm going to go with the first starter, Storming Dragon, just like what I've seen at the trials from him. King Miles should get the good run in behind. You're My Everything will be back running on late, and Sunny the Best will just need luck from barrier 13. 6-4-1-7.
Yeah, I'm going to go the 7 here, Sunny the Best. I know he hasn't got the best draw, but I think he's a very nice horse. And I can see him going a couple of places better this time in. Lucy in the Sky, nice trial efforts from this one. Can run well on debut. So too Storming Dragon, who's been trialling well. And Sea Sapphire, I couldn't leave him out. I thought that run last time was full of merit off the front. 7-5-6-10.
We have seen 2 races previewed on Racing to Win this week. You can find race-by-race analysis on the website hkjc.com. Click on audio and video for preview of races 1 through to 10. Paul, best bet, please.
Yep, going to go with horse in race number 9, an old favourite of mine, Winning Data. He's been going so well, this horse, this season. Since his second at Happy Valley with Big Price, he's come out and he's won 3 races with a second at the other one. And look, he just ran away and won this race once again. He's been up in Chung Fa. He's had plenty of good time. He's had a good time up there. He seems to have been thriving, so I think he can win again. Get to the front and hold on there. Winning Data for me. As far as the long shot's concerned, in race 4, the straight 1000, Parents Love, he's won a recent trial down the straight 1000, has been running at Happy Valley without too much luck. So we'll see if he can win race 4. And we'll do the play in the last gorgeous win, James Tack and Floof, who should be a good price. QQP 1711.
Yeah, best bet for me is in the last. Race 10, number 1, Gorgeous Win here. Very progressive, smart-looking horse, this 3-year-old, and I like the way he was able to go and win last time out. He's never won by too far, but I think he's still just learning what this game is all about, and Zach's not been overly hard on him as well. He's been back to the trials. He's trialled nicely, and I think he's a little bit better than this grade. And well, if he was to win on Sunday, he'll be taking himself up into a higher grade of racing very soon. And the long shot, race 4, number 3, Metro Warrior. Conditions suit him well here. Hugh Bowman will be on board for trainer David Hayes, who's got his team racing well. So happy to stick with him. And the play, we're going to go race 8 here. 5, 6 and 7, the numbers for the 8th race on the card.
Best bet, he won't be any sort of great price, but he should be winning race 6, number 3, Voyage. Samurai, Frankie Law, Derek Long, 2 starts. Debut winner over Smiling Collector, and then bumped into Patch of Theta last time, beat the length and a half. Patch of Theta has come out and won up in grade since then. Fancy Star trial well prior to that last start at Sha Tin, and he just had no luck. He was in heavy traffic the entire way. Should be a price. Race 4, number 11, Keith Young and Casper Founds. And the play, race number 4, the perfect match on debut, Fancy Star. And Paul's last run reminder on the show, Prosecco, 7, 11, 14 in a QQP for Sha Tin on Sunday. Looking at the diary of what is upcoming, we do have racing on Wednesday night at Sha Tin, then the Group 2's Sprint Cup and Chairman's Trophy on the 7th. So earlier start time for Trackside Lives on the weekend meetings, Nick, and then all-weather program Wednesday night.
Yes, indeed. If all-weather racing's your thing, well, there's a bit to look forward to there, isn't there, on Wednesday night, Paul? And obviously the big one coming up in a week's time. Yeah,
so there'll be good racing coming up there, and obviously the all-weathers always get a few surprises on that card.
We do, and the forecast for Sunday, there could be some rain around too at Sha Tin.
Okay, yeah, we'll keep an eye on that.
You might need to check your good to yielding form for horses on the weekend. Thanks to both Nick and Paul. That has been Racing to Win. We'll see you for the first at 12:45 at Sha Tin, where we will be racing to win.